Perfect.
Cool. So I'll just give them a couple seconds to filter in,
Sure.
and then I need to find my link. Welcome everybody to our webinar on fairy tales augmented reality. Gosh, I need before we get started, I just want to remind everybody about obviously the larger Community Learning Week. So the snippets from ISTE booth, all the webinars, and also the chance to win the elusive book creator Texas shirt. I don't have it on, but it's cooler than this one. So you need to have a look for that. I'll be putting the information about all of that into a link now in the chat. So if you want to check it out, just head on to that link in the chat. But other than that's it from me. I'm going to pass over to Claudia.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. So, my name is Claudia, and today I would like to talk about storytelling. So, I'm going to show you two books, The Making of Storytelling, just to give you hints and tips on how to create amazing storytelling with your students. And then we will see, we go from there. And I'm going to show you the book that I created with all the different things that you can use to make your learning meaningful and, of course, magic. So, let's start. I'm gonna stay in the magic in the edit mode because I think it's better for me. I'm gonna tell you why later. So this is me, not that tired and smiling like 5 or 6 months ago. And if you wanna contact me, feel free to click this link because I'm pretty sure you're gonna have the resources of the webinar, right, April?
Yep, I'm going to
Perfect.
post the link to this book right now for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, why storytelling and why AR? As we know very well, storytelling is how we make sense of the world. Everything is storytelling. Everything around us tells us a story. We build emotional connections, we build empathy, and of course, imagination. And why storytelling in language acquisition or in the teaching field? Well, it supports, as I told you, language acquisition and vocabulary growth. Of course, encourage creativities, and our students are just happy because they are willing to learn and go the extra mile. And if we give them something a little different, they will be even more happy. So, why book creator? Of course, because it's our favorite. It's intuitive, child friendly, and it has an interface that combines text, image, voice, video, drawing, you name it, book creator has it. And of course, it fosters collaborative and personalized storytelling. And, to give, our students a little bit of confidence, we can publish and share their books with their peers and with their family. Why AR? Why this fuss about AR? Because AR brings characters and scenes to life. It gives this wow factor. It promotes active engagement and curiosity, and of course, encourages multimodality. So we can help audio, kinesthetic, visual learners, and so on and so forth to achieve their potential while they're smiling and having fun, and of course, learning. The added value is that they enhances, so everything that we put into AR enhances retention and comprehension and makes abstract or magical elements more tangible and effective. So here I give you 2 or 3 examples on how to create storytelling for our students. For example, if we think about Bloom's taxonomy and lower ordering skills and higher ordering skills, that's what I did here. Basically, I started with early primary and I focused on repetition, rhyming, visual storytelling, while with middle primary school, yes, school students, I'm sorry, I'm super tired. And I think you can see I'm always glowing because, but I'm naturally gorgeous. But yeah, I'm a bit tired, so that's why. So sorry. For middle primary school students, of course, we enhance a little bit the narrative structures and we add a little bit of emotion and dialogue. Whereas with upper primary school students, we focus on point of view, intercultural comprehension, SEL elements, and so on and so forth. So, from simple stimulus response two different contexts: fairy tales from around the world, fractures and structured fairy tales, alternative endings, and etc. etc. But we can even have a normal storytelling, a bread and butter stimulus response. It's fine as long as our students are happy and they're happy to learn with us, everything goes. Right. Now here I create for you Storytelling 101, Storytelling with AR 101, a guide that goes from brainstorming to publish and share. So what do we have? In brainstorming, we can choose, retell a story or create a fairy tale with our students. We can plan the pages like with characters, setting, plot, and solution. We can write and record everything that we do. We can use simple language and, of course, voiceover that with Book Creator is very easy to use. Then we can design our book. We can add drawings. We can add background. And if we up smash with Canva, which is by the by a good solution for storytelling, well, we got the extra mile going. We can enhance everything that we do with AR, as I told you, and I'm going to show you how to do that in four simple steps and for free. And then, of course, we can publish and share. So here, my hints and tips to create an amazing book in AR. Then what else? How can we check comprehension? And we're going to see that in the book that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. We can, for example, ask the students to retell the story in 5 steps. We can ask them to storyboard creation, to use drawing, to use audio, to use video, to retell the story in their own way. We can create dialogues for silent characters. They're there doing nothing. Let's imagine a nice dialogue with them. We can create quiz with Book Creator. We can create the odd one out, as in for vocabulary or events. And of course, we can use emoji to describe characters' feelings. The takeaways of this kind of storytellings are a lot, amazing. We have storytelling that builds literacy and life skills. Of course, with Book Creator, we build also digital skills. Let's not forget that. We can empower students to be authors, and we know that Book Creator is very, very famous for that. And of course, fairy tales provide a playful, familiar entry point, and AR goes the extra mile and go, wow. So students go, wow. They say, oh my God, I wasn't expecting that. So their learning is more meaningful and their retention is major. So after that, let's go to the juicy part, that is to say, the book. So this time I'm going to show you in a different way because I'm going to show you the book into a whole. So basically here we have the main page, the cover. As you can see here, you've got a QR code. This QR code is the key for amazingness because thanks to the QR code that is linked to this app called iJack, so hello up smashing, thank you very much, we can have the drawing that brings that is brought to life. So basically here I create the drawing in Canva, and this is the example that I'm going to show you in a second, that so that you don't need to have the QR code to vision this example. Here are the instruction, and here you can see that I put like a little bit of a teaser with a puzzle, and I'll show you in a second. And here I start my story. As you can see here, I used something different. So I use this AAC writing that is especially made for special needs students. I had so much fun doing that because I'm on a learning curve and I'm still learning. And I think this is so meaningful because, I'm learning a new way of communicating, and it empowers me a lot. Me being a teacher, I'm not a teacher of primary school students. I'm a teacher for upper secondary school students. But let me tell you, this is an added value and makes students aware of the differences and how to bridge differences and how to include everyone in their storytelling. And here you can see the different step of the storytelling, so on and so forth, up until you get into the main point, that is to say exercises, because with Book Creator we can create a selection of exercises. I also translated the exercises into AAC, etc., etc. And here I wrote the end with as with a interrogation mark, a question mark. Why? Because who decide that this is the end? We can ask for alternative endings. We can say, what if Princess Tallulah decides to go with her friend somewhere else, for example, etc., etc. So as you can see, this storytelling is very flexible. So let's start from the beginning. Let's go back. And here you have the magic forest. So basically, when you focus on the QR code, what you'll see is this, is the video that goes, what maybe you can, talk through the video and explain students what they're about to do. Always tell your students where they have to go, where they're going, what the learning objectives are, etc., etc. And then, of course, as I told you, here is the explanation. So AR 101, and here is the example of the me of the past, like doing the video to show everyone how it's done. Then this is something funny that I love so much, because this is like a puzzle, and I love puzzles because then at the end of the puzzle you got feedback where you have to guess the character of the story. So basically it's a warm-up activity. We don't need brainstorming because storytelling is done. It's a warm-up activity to engage students and to help them focus on their memory a little bit more. So once we finish that, of course, we carry on, and we've got a story that maybe for example, this story I created with a sample of students that I had during my teacher projects, that because I'm a teacher trainer, so I go into classes and I put into practice what I create, and then of course I get feedback, and this was a win-win situation because students were just very, very happy. Let's not forget, maybe you haven't noticed, but I'm Italian. So English is not our first language. So for these kind of students, wasn't that difficult to understand because they had pictures, they had drawings, and of course they had the videos in AR. And so they didn't really care about getting every single word. What they cared about is how the story was, evolving and everything. And so that was another value for me as well. So we got, of course, Once Upon a Time and Princess Tallulah, that is with her friends Fizzlewinks. Is a squirrel, and he had a fluffy tail and like to make jokes. So here we have the story in AAC. So every single word has its own meaning, and if you don't have it, you can create one. And this is so fun, and I've learned so much because we need to get the message through. And what if we have a person that needs to go for us the extra mile? And so there you go, you've got this amazing tool, and thank you so much, it's free. So let's go for that. And we can learn a lot from all this different way of communication. And then of course, as you can see, it's a little bit longer than the basic sentence, but who cares? It's fun, and we did it anyway. Look, like twist a little heart, this is so cool, I love that so much. And then jokes, and I tried my best here because I'm a beginner, so I really tried. But I asked my teachers and I said, is that okay? And they said, yes, yes, good work. Just keep improving. Well done, well done. So I was very, very proud of that. All right. So here we have another scene, which is this one. So we got Tallulah and her friend Squirrel, they're meeting there. So how did they do that? Very, very simple. I use Canva, and then I use Canva animation, and then I put everything together through the app iJack, and I created this amazing thing. You can say, yeah, but you got the video there. Yes, but if you use a tablet or a mobile phone, better tablet, to be honest with you, in primary school, of course, you have you don't need anything else apart from this QR code. So, students were just, they didn't care about the difficulty of QR code. What is that? Well, they knew how to use it because they're naturals. So this is amazing, and I love that so much. So the story carries on and everything. And then, of course, we have another piece of the puzzle, that is to say, this one. So they're working together, they're talking, and there are animations going on, just to make the story more interesting. The teachers decided to talk while the video was going on. So they had the script and they decided that, so the students were looking at the video, and then they were talking, and they were even expressing themselves, because told you, not English as our first language. So we needed a little bit, of extra drama, to spice up the reading. And there we go, and so on and so forth. So you get how it is. I don't think, there you go. That's what I wanted to show you. So easy peasy with Book Creator. I just created a reading comprehension exercise, vocabulary. You could answer with audio, with text, with video, with a picture. For example, if you want to, take a picture of your notebook, or if you want take a video of you take a video because maybe you're deaf and you need, to express yourself in a different way. There you go. You've got all the inclusivity you want in three simple icons. Amazing, essential, top. I love it. I love it. I love it. And of course, here I had to try. And so I created AAC, so reading comprehension exercises, and then vocabulary, of course, because I had to focus on what I wanted to teach my students. And that is basically the same. It's a little bit longer with a lot of images, but I love it. I love it. I love it. And here you've got, of course, the three different tools that you can use: audio, picture, or video, and text, of course, and so on and so forth. So before we had the vocabulary building. Here we got setting, and you can use the pen and text functions to answer the questions. And then, of course, setting again, characters. So we have all the analysis of characters, the settings, the why, the hows, and everything. And the journey details, because we wanted our students to create 4 or 5 sentences on this storytelling. So list 2 things Tallulah and Fizzlewinks found in the enchanted forest. Draw them, so you have another tool that goes like the pen function with the auto pen, because I have to tell you something, I'm not that good at drawing. So auto pen saves my life several times, because let me tell you, I'm good, but not that good. So yes, so thank you so much for this amazing idea. I loved it, and I cherish it every single day that I do a training or anything, because this is the wow factor for me. It's just being able to draw something, even if you're not that good. And then, of course, we've got SEL, friendship, so social emotional learning within the reading comprehension, because we want our children to focus on their well-being and to understand what friendship is, what a good friendship is, and so on and so forth. So I'm very excited about this story, because then you got the conclusion. Where did Tallulah go as the sunset? And this is kind of open, so you can create your own story, and you can give the moral of the story from what you understood. So, what do you think happened? Do you think that Tallulah and Fizzlewinks are friends or not? Why? Etc. etc. And that's it. I think. I think it's everything. And then, of course, I put the end, because I told you it's an open storytelling. So I just wanted to give, an idea to say the end. Are you sure? So can we do something a little bit more? Maybe we can create puppet with Tallulah and Fizzlewinks. Maybe we can create extra stories, another video, another exercise. Maybe we can use, story cubes to go the extra mile and do something different. Oh my God, I love storytelling. Oh, possibilities are endless, 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 endless. Okay, I'm done. Yay.
Thank you so much, Claudia. That was fantastic. I loved seeing Tallulah, especially myself. She's very cute. If anyone has any questions at all, if you drop them into the chat, then we can go over them. One question I did have was, I'm intrigued. Do you find yourself reusing the same story in different units, or do you like to build new ones to give them kind of new ways to be tested?
Well, it depends really. If you want to go for a follow-up, then of course you reuse the story that you previously created. Whereas if you wanna do something different, or maybe you would like to talk about other, no, you want your students to learn other vocabulary, or maybe grammar points, or maybe, other things about civics or SEL, then of course you create a brand new one.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think it works perfectly. And if you work with the students, it's even better because they have their say, they feel empowered, and they don't feel, they're not passive learners, they're active learners. And with Book Creator, it's easy because they can actually create their own books. So win-win situation.
Yeah. Do they ever request certain stories from you or certain characters?
Um, Well, yes, because I love who done it, and but this is for my upper secondary school students. So I love mystery, crimes, and everything. So I create, as I told you, who done it, branch scenarios. And I remember once I finished my lesson, I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go." And I said, "Yeah, but haven't you prepared anything for us?" And I said, "What? Like what? Like an escape room or something, for homework?" And I said, what? Do you really want to do that? Yeah. So can you prepare that? And I said, of course. And then we did it together and it was so fun, so fun. Then I remember then, the class finished and I said, okay, I'm gonna go. And nobody said bye. And I said, how can I use my invisibility for good or for evil? And then one student said, okay, bye, we're working. So don't, please let us finish. And I said, oh my God, I won. I made it. I was so excited, because that, hardly ever happens in a school environment. So super happy, excited. Yeah.
Well, Emily says, could you please show us how you created the animated character via Canva or other apps?
Okay, have we got time? I can do that. No problem. Can
Yeah,
I do that?
absolutely. It's a great
Yay, I'm
question.
going to do it now. So we have to head on to Canva. I'm going to go here because it's better so I can show you the different ways how to do that. Okay. So, for example, the first things you want to do, you take a presentation. I'm sorry, it's in Italian, but you will understand because I'm going to, So you're going to go on to presentation because it's very flexible. Into presentation you can actually put audio, video, anything you can imagine. So I will go for this one, and then of course you're gonna choose like element. Let's go for forest. So just because that's what we did. uh let's see, we can something fun. How's this one? Do you like this one or this one? Maybe this is more magical. This one, is that okay? Let's
Yeah.
go for this one. As you can see, it doesn't really fit into our screen. So what we have to do, right click, and we have to put it as a background. Okay. So once you put it as a background, what you have to do, you just add animations. Say, how is that? Yeah, it's done. It's done. It's done. So what you do, you duplicate the page because of course. So duplicate page, there you go. And on page 2, you just add animation. Like for example, squirrel. Let's see what we've got. So we got this one. Let's take yeah, this one is fun. Yeah. Let's take this one, for example. And you said, yeah, okay, but it's not moving. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go on to animation, create an animation, and then you see this little bee going. We're gonna do the same. We're gonna just do like this. Tun, 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 up until like this. As you can see, it's not gonna go as fast, of course, because as you can see, it's not, well, you don't, so it's very, very slow. Okay. Trust me, it's very, very slow because velocità means speed. So it's not as, it's like zero. So it's very, very slow. It's gonna go slow. So then what else you can do? You can put audio as well because, well, this is something 3D so cool that I'm doing right now, but that doesn't have to do anything with what I'm doing. So I was trying, no, sorry, audio. I have to take, let's see this one. Yeah, let's take this one. As you can see, I'm on slide 2. The only thing I can do is this one. Done. You see, 2 seconds, done. Do you want to add extra elements? We can put butterfly, for example. We can find a nice butterfly. Like, no, I don't like this one. Well, we can use this one. It's not a problem. But then, so we're going to make it smaller, smaller, super smaller like this. And then of course we're gonna do the same. So this create an animation is going to be your best friend. If you want to go for AR, there you go. Okay, so see, this is animation. Then the next step is very, very easy. What you do, you're gonna go on to share. You're gonna go to download, and then you're going to choose for slide number 2, you're going to choose video MP4. So let's not forget slide number 2, and you just download it. Okay, whereas for slide number 1 that it's empty, you can share with PNG or something like that, or JPEG, JPG. You can go for PNG. That's it, and you can download it. Not, I'm sorry, I have to deflag this one. So this one, and you download it, and basically everything it's done. You go onto the iJack app, you upload your picture, and then you upload your video, and you created AR. That's it, and you're done. 2 seconds. How cool is that? Do you like it? I think it's cool. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. Wow. I'm sorry I was a little bit fast because, time is ticking. But that's basically what you do. What you have to do is just to get creative and don't feel scared of, making mistakes or anything because, who cares if you make mistakes? You're getting creative. That's fine. That's fine. Okay? There you go.
Right, well, thank you so much, Claudia. And if anyone has any other questions, we do still have a couple minutes, so put them in the chat. I'm sure we can go over them. But the last thing I have to say is just a huge thank you for coming along and for telling us all about your fairy tales.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was great fun and I'm not tired anymore, which is good.
Oh, one more question. What is the name of the second app you used?
Yes, I'm gonna chat. Let me see if I can find it. Of course not, because I'm gonna stop. Oh, there you go. There you go. So it's I Jack. There you go. That's the one. Totally free of use, so you don't have to spend no money for that one. Of course, you cannot have long video. You can have 5 to 6 second videos, no more than that. Because if you want a free stuff, then you have to adjust. But then apart from that, it's amazing and it's enough. It's really enough. Yeah.
Wow, that's so fun. So I'm just going to quickly drop the books that you shared back into the chat as well if anyone wants to
Thank
go
you.
back to those.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have the making of book here and then the finished product as well.
Thank you so much, April.
Can you spell the app name? So I think she put it in the chat. It's I like an I, EYE, Jack,
Yes.
the name.
JACK. You find it on any store that it's a mobile or, tablet or anything. You just find not it's also on the computer if you want. So it's actually for us artists, but I used for this because, you know, just just to change a little bit and to use it for educational purposes. So,
Super cool.
okay, I'm gonna stop sharing now. Okay.
I think that's it. I think that we've got all our questions out. So thank you everyone for coming. And also obviously Claudia, a massive thank you for sharing as well.
Thank you, April. You've been an amazing host. And thank you, guys, for being here with us and having fun. Ah, ciao, Paola. Paola is here. I know her. Okay. 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 Thank you.
No worries. Well, have a lovely evening or afternoon, everyone, no matter where you are. And thank you for coming.